The crimes were serious: unlawful possession of a weapon, resisting arrest, aggravated assault. After police responded to reports of a theft at a Hampton Inn in Woodbridge, New Jersey, the suspect drove away, hitting a police car, and police claim almost running over an officer. Using cutting-edge facial recognition technology, police quickly arrested Niger Parks, a 31-year-old Patterson resident. The only problem? Niger Parks was innocent.
How many years are you facing?
The last time I went to court, they gave me an 8 with an 85 offer, which is like 6 years.
6 years for a crime you didn't commit?
Yes.
At the same time the crimes were being committed at the Hampton Inn in January 2019, Parks was 30 miles away in a Western Union, sending money to his fiancée. But police found what they say was a fake driver's license at the scene, and using the photo on the ID, got a facial recognition match to Niger Parks. With seemingly no other evidence, a judge signed a warrant for Parks' arrest.
The thing that is so notable about this case isn't that the facial recognition got it wrong. It's that we found out.
Parks has now become the face of an issue researchers and privacy advocates have been warning about for years: facial recognition in the hands of law enforcement.
When we talk about
Hey, Shalom, Kohalah, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Chachadash, the ones who passes a great millstone, and show them to brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord, when we are found in that number, right? So this is just another quick clip of what's to come, all right? And this facial recognition that's being rolled out throughout the country is going to be very detrimental to you so-called Black, Latinos, Native Americans, man, all right? This is just another facet or another device that Esau is putting together to subdue, lock up, to do away with you jakes, man. You know, and it's all, everybody thinks it's all good. You think it's all good, and, you know, and it's all glory. And time is going to come where you may find yourself in a position as this Jake just found himself in. All right? And then they're going to stop at nothing to get you, you know, thrown in prison or to get put you in a position where they can shoot your ass. All right? And I believe this whole facial recognition is only to target Jake, man. That's it. All right? So I'm going to get a couple articles, get a couple scriptures, and end it on that. All right, so first I want to go to this article here. All right. This is dated June 24th, 2020. And this is here in a local station here in Boston. It says, Boston approves ban on facial recognition technology. All right. So there have been, you know, situations where Congress was looking to do certain things and implement this facial recognition with the so-called, you know, police forces and what have you. All right. So it says the ordinances would prevent Boston police from using any facial surveillance system. Okay. And this article says the Boston City Council voted unanimously Wednesday to pass a ban on the use of facial recognition technology by the city government. All right. So after some, you know, councils and, you know, debates and so on and so forth, they had come to the conclusion that here in Boston they weren't going to allow, you know, the government to use facial technology. And why is that? Because some of the city council on the board felt that it was invasive, it wasn't, you know, on 100% accurate. Therefore, you know, rendering the ability for these, you know, departments or what have you to not use it. And a little bit of it, the article says, the move makes Boston the second largest U.S. city after San Francisco to enact a ban. The city joins several other Massachusetts communities that passed similar bans, including Cambridge, Springfield, Northampton, Brookline, and Somerville. All right. a little bit more. The move makes Boston the second largest U.S. city after San Francisco to enact a ban. Boston should not use racially discriminatory technology that threatens the privacy and basic rights of our residents. It says, at large Boston City Council Michelle Wu said in a statement, community trust is the foundation of for public safety and public health. All right. So, some of these city council, they get it. They understand who it's really targeting. Right? Especially in Boston. Go from there. Now, fast forwarding a year later, it says Massachusetts pioneers rules for police use of facial recognition technology. It says, this is May 7th, 2021. It says surveillance cameras like this one here in Boston are used throughout Massachusetts. The state now regulates how police use facial recognition technology. All right. So between the course just about a year, they have now allowed, policing and police departments to use facial technology. It says Massachusetts lawmakers passed one of the first statewide restrictions of facial recognition as part of a sweeping police reform law. The new law sets limits on how police use the technology in criminal investigations. It's one of the first attempts to find middle ground when regulating this technology, but not all privacy advocates agree that regulation is the right step. It says Democratic State Senator Sonia Chang Diaz was one of the leaders behind the push for criminal justice reform. There's some pretty sensible guardrails that can be put around the use of facial surveillance technology while the state does the work of collecting data to understand and get a more fulsome picture of how the technology is being used currently, Diaz said. All right. So all in all, what the result of this is the police now have the ability to go to the registry of motor vehicle and to capture every image that they feel necessary to put in their database. All right. And you know how it is, man. We go through life and go through, our daily lives saying, oh, that dude looks just like so-and-so. And they're going to use that. And you jakes are going to get caught out there, man. Some of you jakes are going to get really caught out there because you're thinking that, oh, that's not me. And they're thinking, nigga, this is you. What you going to do then? All right. But once again, as I stated earlier, this whole facial recognition thing is the driving force, to apprehend, accuse, blame, you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and blacks, and so on and so forth. All right. It says Massachusetts police reform law gets real. Change has come slowly. It's everybody's business to keep redefining and expanding the idea of what makes us safe. Now, this is an article of June 30th, 2021, just a couple of days ago. It says many of the provisions of the landmark police reform bill last year actually became law July 1st. All right. So it says, and the clock will start ticking on the promises made. So as of July 1st, which was a couple days ago, this whole facial recognition thing is in full effect here in Massachusetts. All right. Now, just a year ago, as we saw, there was a ban. They weren't trying to have it. But as I said earlier, this is just a device that Esau has now been able to use and obtain to now go for all out, you know, and you watch what happens. The number of people that are gonna now be put in a position of, you know, mistaken identity is gonna be very high. Okay? Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Right? Now putting this into law, now allowing these devils to use this 1 year later, when they first decided against it, that it was unconstitutional. Okay? So, but be that as it may, there's no way you're gonna stop. You can't stop this. You cannot stop this process of what's going down. The RFID microchip is on its way to be fully implemented. All right. You know, the cashless society, you know, all that, which is going to encompass the microchip, you know, along with that facial technology. And this is that right grievances which they have prescribed. Okay. And this is going to be very grievous to the children of Israel. All right. It's going to go right through the roof, because niggas going to be getting pulled over, stopped, arrested on a lot of bullshit charges. You watch, man. You watch. You mark our words. We're going to tell you. We've been telling you people the devil's about to come down having great wrath. You know? You know, I played that video with this Jake. You know, they said this nigga was facing 6 years for some shit he didn't commit, but because he looked like the dude. You know how many Jakes get thrown in prison for wrongly being accused of shit? He's gonna be in trouble. Revelation 12:10, it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power, in the power of Yahushua Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. All right, for the accuser of our brethren. Who's the accuser? Esau. Okay. And he has now implemented another device where he can accuse the children of Israel by saying, you know, you did something that you didn't do, and we got you on tape, we got your picture, and so on and so forth. Okay. It says, which accused them before our power day and night. So these devils is working feverishly, man. They're working feverishly to get a hold of you. You know, as we come upon the time of Jacob's trouble, this is just, once again, this is just another technique that they're going to be able to have at their disposal to once again lock anybody up. You know, I was coming home 2 weeks ago, maybe. I was coming home, and, you know, I pulled in my drive. I was in back of a dude. I was pulling into my driveway, and well, let me explain a little better. When I was driving, there was a dude in front of me, and he was kind of, you know, stopping and going because he didn't know which left-hand turn he wanted to make. So that being said, when he finally made his left-hand turn, I was able to go around him and go in my driveway. So I'm in my driveway, and you know, gathering my shit up. I look in my mirror, and there's a state trooper behind me. I'm saying, what the fuck is going on here? This dude come out talking about he's looking for a car fitting the description of my car. So I gave him my license and registration and everything. I said, you know, he looked at me. I said, what's the reason for the stop? He said I was flying down the road. And I'm saying to myself, I was in back of this guy for, you know, a few seconds, you know, like a minute and some change. I said I couldn't even go that fast. And he looked at me. He's like, all right, yeah, well, I'm looking for another vehicle that fits this description. Which was bullshit. Which is pure bullshit. But it just goes to show you the shit that they're on, man. And now that they're gonna be able to back some shit up with some photo, some bogus photo that looks like you, yeah, man, it's not good. You know, this is not good. And I like to come back to this because this is exactly what's been going to be happening to Jake, man. And I've been using this scripture a lot lately. This is 2 Ezra 8:50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world." Right? Many great miseries are going to come, man. You know, just when you think you're going, you know, you're doing all right, all hell's going to fall upon your shoulders, man. And this facial recognition is just another tool that these devils are going to use, and you best believe they're going to use it to its fullest. Okay? You watch the so-called, as they say, the conviction rate of so-called Native Americans, blacks, and Latinos. Watch how high that shit jumps up. Unless you got some old Johnny Cochran type of defense, niggas is going to jail, man. Niggas gonna be rotting in jail for what little time is left in this wicked ass kingdom because of some bullshit facial recognition shit, man. And a lot of you Latins, you Latinos, you know, you thinking you got the complexion, the protection, and the complexion. They understand who you are, man. You seen them walk around like your shit don't stink. Talking about, you know, you got Latins, some Latinos talking about, yeah, they need to get rid of these illegal immigrants or undocumented people. Nigga, you the same goddamn people, man. But be that as it may, Alright? So the crux of the matter is this. They're now implementing, they're now allowing facial recognition here in Boston, and it's going to start sweeping throughout the world, throughout the country. And there's no doubt in my mind that this facial recognition is geared solely and only to apprehend and detain the children of Israel. All right? So Lord willing, I'll see you brothers in another show. I say shalom.